Phones. We all use them, we all have them, and pretty much everyone's the same. It's either you're on Team Android or Team Apple, but more or less they're the same. You can make phone calls, play games, and just connect to the internet. Really nothing too crazy. If you compare a modern iPhone to the very first iPhone, aside from camera quality and processor speed, there really haven't been like any major upgrades or revolutions. And that's where this guy comes in. So for the uninformed, this is a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. So they're up to the Z Flip 5 now. This is an older one, which is kind of the whole point of this video. This was the cheapest Z Flip 3 that I could find in working condition on eBay. It might actually be the cheapest foldable in working condition on eBay. Now you can see I put this case on here because there was slight cosmetic damage to the back. You can see this is kind of silver on the edge. Like they just kind of wore it down to underneath the paint basically. So cosmetically flawed on the outside, which is why I stuck a case on it. But aside from that, I mean, everything works. You have a little screen. So the amount that I paid for this was 60 something dollars for a basically fully working foldable. The reason I bought this was to replace this camera right here, which is 1080p 30 frames a second, and this can do 4K 60 frames per second. Just to show you guys sort of the affordability of some really good cameras. This was a $40 Android phone I bought at Walmart specifically for this purpose. I do have an iPhone, but iPhones are terrible when it comes to filming and moving that footage to PC where I edit. If you edit on the phone with iMovie and stuff, it works, but then I have to sync this microphone, and it really just doesn't work out. So I like filming with Android. That way I can plug in the charger and move all my videos to computer. So I stalked eBay for a little minute, and all of these Z Flip 3s that were this price were in completely non-functioning condition. Either that a black screen and wouldn't turn on, or alternatively, the screen was broken. This one kind of falls a little bit on that spectrum, so let me explain. So Z Flip 3s have a built-in screen protector that Samsung says to not remove, but you can, and you can replace it yourself. So this one, the previous owner had peeled off the inbuilt screen protector and used it like that. So as you can see, there is a little bit of a crease and a little bit of damage to the actual display. I put a screen protector back on top of that, so whenever it's off, it is a little noticeable. However, when it's on, there's a little bit of a crease, and if we get the studio lights on it, it's a little irritating, but that's pretty much how they look brand new. It's just this little crease in the actual display itself where they had dirt and debris get in there. So yes, I got a slightly scuffed up screen, but I stuck a screen protector on it, and there's no damage to the actual display or the touch functionality or anything like that. I specifically bought this to use it as a camera, so I'm not worried in the slightest. I didn't do the greatest job putting the screen protector on. I mean, I've got a couple more, so I might try that again later. But when I tell you the Z Flips are tall, the Z Flips are tall. So this is the Z Flip 3 5G. I believe they're all the exact same height though. This is a iPhone 13. That's really tall. With the iPhone 13, I can kind of reach the top, almost. And then with the Z Flip 3, I'm not even getting past the center crease. Like, this is insane. I have to move my entire hand to get to the other half of the screen. It didn't come with this case on it. This is just a little cheap one that I stuck on it, just to cover the scratches and stuff. I actually do have a dbrand skin on the way, but it's still on the way. It's gonna be a little while before I get my hands on that, so I doubt that you guys are gonna actually see the skin, because this is probably the only video I'm gonna make on this. But anyway, I do have a skin on the way. Aside from just getting a really cool gimmick phone that you can just whip out and show people and just show it off and stuff, you're actually getting really good specs if you can scoop one up at the price that I did. I believe that there's about 8 gigs of RAM and a pretty fast, like 8-core processor or something. As a matter of fact, let's just look it up. Also, I forgot to mention, this is the 128 gigabyte, storage. But yeah, see that little crease in the screen? It's a little noticeable. But, I mean, I just bought it for the cameras, so I'm happy as far as that goes. Yeah, so there's the CPU speed and type for those who are curious, but it has this CPU, and it's a 8-core and has 8 gigs of RAM, so it's a properly fast phone. It's not quite 2024 Samsung flagship, because I believe they just came out with like the S24 or something. This is probably more like S21, S22 territory if I had to guess, since this phone's a couple years old at this point, but still very modern and very capable. And with how tall this aspect ratio is, if you're watching a video vertically like this, it only is this tiny piece of the screen. And then if you fold the phone, it kind of shifts it down so you can just hold it like that, or just set it down and, just watch a video like that, I guess. And it does something pretty similar for the camera app if I can get my video out of here. So there's the camera. Like I said, it can do 4K 60 video, which is the main reason I bought it for that cheap. So here's the camera app. You can kind of get a glimpse of my janky setup with this Motorola up here. Hopefully gonna change that up soon with this. So the camera app also is kind of designed for the flip in the way that it just automatically moves and puts settings and stuff on the other screen, and it's super smooth and super fluid. Speaking of which, I completely forgot to mention, this is a 120 hertz screen. So at the end of the day, if you manage to snag one for as cheap as I did, as functional as this one, you're basically getting a flagship phone for less than the price of a new video game. I have not installed any games and stuff on this yet. Kind of just got it out of the box not too long ago. I'll link the eBay seller down below, not sponsored or anything, but I'll just show you guys where I found mine. And then the camera app has one more party trick. If you press this little icon up in the corner like that and flip the phone around, then you have a live feed of your main cameras on the tiny screen right here. It's where you can take selfies with your good cameras basically. So, it's a pretty low resolution screen. I'm not entirely sure what the exact resolution is, but it's more than good enough of getting an idea of what you're looking at. So yeah, this is the cheapest working foldable that I was able to find on eBay. I'm not entirely sure how many there are at this price, but this is mine. So stay tuned for future videos. I'm not entirely sure what I have in the works next, but probably gonna have it filmed on this. So let's drop a comment of what you want to see. Might even make a video of retro emulation on this $40 phone right here, just to show you guys how capable a cheap phone like this is, especially when it comes to filming. I've been using this phone for a while now, but it's just time to upgrade and the price is right. So far this phone seems super promising and hopefully can get me through a bunch of more videos going forward. That's all for now. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.